So now we're going to talk about a little bit later in the armbar defense, right? Somebody's caught the armbar. Um, Depending on how they caught it, this may be, your only option. We teach a couple different arm bars. We teach one called the nasty arm bar, where I feed that arm into my opposite armpit, clamp down on that. Get caught in that with an MMA glove on, you're in some trouble. It's real hard to clear that arm. You're gonna have to stack. You're basically gonna have to wait. You're gonna try and make the bottom person, the attacking opponent, so uncomfortable that they decide they want to do something else. They want to transition to something else, because generally, once that arm is deep, if I'm in the tricep, I've got that crossed over. You're not going to get that arm back until I decide to give it to you. But how do we make you uncomfortable, and how do we avoid getting our arm extended and allowing you to extend your hips? Well, we're going to do that by stacking, putting some weight towards the head. So, Sheila, can I borrow you again? So I'm here, and really whatever style of armbar that Sheila attempts from here, she's gonna hit something. Boom. She's bringing across, foot on the hip. She's right here. I'm in big trouble. What's the first thing I need to do before that?
Get a foot up. That right foot here.
Hand to hand. Yeah, because right here, if I go to stack, she extends the arm. Right? Number one, as soon as I feel caught, I'm going to defend my arm, right? And I like this, and really I would like this eventually in here, so I can keep some of that pressure off my neck. But as soon as she throws this armbar up, here. Yep. Next is stack. Yeah, I'm going to start to put her weight towards her head. I want to bring my left knee all the way to her her right ear, and I want to bring my right knee up here and clamp. And I like Sheila, and she's a lot smaller than me, so I'm not like really crushing in here, but I would be squeezing with my knees, clamping down here, stacking her vertebra, right? Taking the mobility out of her spine. Again, not in here, but in MMA, in the street. I would also be using this elbow to rearrange her face, to push her teeth into the back of her throat, to give her a nose job. Lots of things here, right? She's trying to armbar me, so I would be putting all my weight through this left elbow into her face. If you're doing it here in practice, this is sort of the nice way to do it, is into the side of her neck. It's still not nice at all, but she is trying to break my arm. The reason that my left knee has to block her head is because one of her options is to invert, is to spin all the way through into what we call a belly down transfer. And I've got to block her ability to rotate underneath, and I do that with that knee at her head. So I've screwed up. I've allowed her to cross over. Oh, sorry, punch her in the face. I recognize I'm in danger. I start to bring my weight towards her head. My left knee slides to block so she can't invert. My right foot steps up to apply clamping pressure, stacking the vertebrae in her spine. My left elbow starts to drive into her to make her uncomfortable. Now, what do I do next? This is stacked, right? She's stacked. She's up on her shoulders. How do I get my right arm free? Do I start to pull out like this? No, I certainly don't want to start to posture here. We talk about posture. This is one place I don't. If I posture, if you watch Benson Henderson versus Showtime Pettis, right? He gets caught here. He goes to pull his arm out. Boom. And he taps. I want to stay stacked, keeping the pressure through her head, through that left elbow, keeping the pressure on her spine, clamping with my right knee. And I want to use little short jerky movements. And this is better because now I'm opening and stacking with that leg. I don't generally get there. I've got a bad habit of just going here. I'll hold it from the outside. But this is going to be a superior defense if I can get it, while maintaining the stack. Just little jerky movements to clear that arm, and then I would work to maintain my top position. So one more time, you guys are going to talk me through it. And here, just because it is a fundamentals class, we're going to sort of talk basic armbar. Sheila's going to lift her hips. As her hips drop, she drags me across. She's over sealing my elbow to her center line. Foot on the hip is going to help her create an angle. Her right leg breaks my posture. Her left hand pushes my head, and then she throws that leg over my face. I'm caught. I immediately protect my arm. I slide to her head. Knee blocks the inversion. Right foot steps up to add pressure and stack. Left elbow applies pressure, making her uncomfortable. Check that out. Drag through. Heavy hips. Questions? Let's play with it. Make sure that that bottom person is going step by step on their arm bar. There's a couple different ways to do it. This one, we're just going to go traditional. I'm here, hips up, hips down. As the hips come down, that's when I'm going to be able to move her arms, right? If she's here and I'm just trying to bring that across, especially if you got these big ribs for her to base on, it's not going to happen, right? Up, down, here. Foot on the hip, leg breaks posture, hand pushes the head. Up, down, lock it in, elbows across the center line. She's in danger. Push the head, foot on the hip, break the posture. Leg over. She defends. Boom. Knee goes to my head. Boom. Foot stacks. She drives her elbow into my face. Boom. And she passes. Question. Let's run it. 1, 2.